Hello and welcome. I'm Marquette, and I have been a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor and a lymphatic specialist for several years now, going on 22 years. And in that time, I've also been a manager, I've been a cheerleading coach, I've been a teacher. I also became a life coach years ago, and I lovingly call myself a wife coach as well because I do tend to work with tons of married women, and I take a lot of pride and pride and I guess pride. I'm very proud to be a support system for these women, for all of you women, anyone listening now. And one thing I want to encourage you about today is being sweet and attractive and adorable and understanding the power you have in being kind. Now, kind is not your weakness, it's your strength. Learning how to pray from a place of true care and true love, not control, is your superpower. You are the beating heart of your family, of your marriage. And your husband is the head of the household. You are the heart of your household. You are the beating heart. And you have such power. A lot of women don't realize what power they have in their relationship and in their marriage. So if you are getting married, you want to be married, or maybe you're married already, this is my wife advice for you: is be sweet, learn how to pray. There are some great prayers out there. My favorite prayers are by Stormy O'Martian, who wrote The Power of a Praying Wife, and she also wrote The Power of a Praying Mom and a Parent, and all these books. Power of a Praying Husband, lots of great books. And she does have this way of saying, shut up and pray. And there is power in prayer, the power of intercessory prayer. It will never be lost on me. I am such a big fan and a big believer in the power of prayer. Learn how to pray, and it's not God change them, it's God change me. How can I change? How can I respond differently to this relationship? What's going on? And yes, there are going to be ways that he lets you down, your husband. God won't let you down. There will be disappointment in life, but God isn't going to disappoint you. God will always show up and show off in your life and for you, and give you little nudges and hunches along the way of how to go, where to go, what to do. But I'm telling you, if you'll learn how to shut up and pray, you can solve every relationship problem that will ever come to you. I have helped so many women, and I'm talking about big stuff too, not just like, oh, I stubbed my toe or he rolled his eyes at me. That's annoying and it's disrespectful, and little accidents are going to happen along the way. But you guys, I'm talking about big stuff too: money stuff, gambling, infidelity on both sides. You're cheating or he's cheating. You can come back from this. I have so many friends, and I've had a very colorful past as well. And one day I'll share a little bit more of that, of my own personal experience. But for today, I am going to tell you that I have seen marriages come back stronger than ever after infidelity, like I said, on both sides. So the woman cheating and or the man cheating. I have also seen money issues, people that have lost everything, including their house and business, and they had to rebuild from the ground up. So that's why it's important that you choose somebody that you want to be with, that you actually truly love, and you don't just love them conditionally, like you like what they give you or you like the way, they treat you or whatever, but you actually truly love them, and it's a heart connection. So the power of prayer is huge. Learn to shut up and pray. Learn to be attractive and adorable. If you find that your husband isn't adoring you lately like he used to, ask yourself, am I being adorable like I used to be? Am I actually listening to his stories? Do I even care about this guy anymore? And learn how to love him again. Learn how to pray and ask God to soften your heart toward your husband again. Teach me, God, how to love him. Show me what he needs. There are those 5 love languages. We often love, let's see if I can remember them. Let's see, the words of affirmation, the physical touch, acts of kindness, I think, or acts of service, I should say. Then presents, like gifts and quality time. I think that's it. Physical touch. Did I say physical touch? So often we give the type of love that we want. So it's like, well, I want him to take out the garbage for me, and I want him to go wash my car and fill it up with gas, and I want him to pick up the cleaning and help me with the dishes. But you aren't doing that for him, and or that's not what he needs. So he actually just needs to make sure that he wants hugs and kisses, and he wants you to rub his shoulder and listen. He wants that quality time where you're actually listening. You turn your phone off, or you've dedicated a time where you're going to have a babysitter help you in the other room while you sit and listen for 1 or 2 hours a week, or hopefully more, but I'm kind of being sassy. Or your mother comes once a week and you go out for dinner and you're actually listening and you're following up with him after the kids are in bed. You know, hey, tell me about that meeting, and how did that trip go yesterday to Houston and back? Tell me how this is going. What do we got going on with our finances? I really want to be involved in that, and I want to help you really build our finances rather than being a drain on our finances. What's going on there? What are our goals? I'm really excited about our goals, and I'm really excited about your work, and I'm excited about our life that we're building. You're not just dumping on him when he walks in the door, like, here's a baby, here's the dirty clothes, here's the dirty dishes, help me. Acts of service, give me those acts of service, right? And then you're not giving anything that he needs. You haven't even asked him, hey, how do you feel the most loved? Sometimes he'll say, you know, I really like those few times that you've told me I believe in you, babe. I really like when you tell me that you like my shirt. He loves those words of affirmation. And you've never asked, so you never give him. Like, okay, every now and then you're like, oh, great shoes. I love those boots on you. But he doesn't even care about words of affirmation, or maybe he really loves that and you don't know. So ask him. And y'all could read the book, or you could at least get just a quick overview of the book and just ask him, hey, what makes you feel loved? And then start doing more of those things. Make sure your man feels loved. Someone told me it's like men need... well, I can't remember it now. There's 3 A's: appreciation, affection, and I can't remember. I'll follow up with this sometime in the next few videos. But be sure that you ask him, and that you ask him how he feels loved, and then that you follow up, because that'll really be meaningful to him. Be adorable, be sweet, be attractive. You know, there's that old saying that men marry women thinking they won't change. Women marry men thinking they will change. And that couldn't be further from the truth, right? Men marry the girl thinking, oh, she's always gonna be so cute and loving and interested in me and sexy, and she's always gonna dress so cute and fix her hair and have her makeup and be ready for a date. Hey babe, can I pick you up for this hot, sexy date? Yeah, okay, I'm ready, woo! I'm feeling cherished, I'm feeling like a queen, right? And then you get married and you're like, bro, no, I'm not putting makeup on, fixing my hair. Like, you wanna have sex? Forget it, I'm tired. I got work, I have bills, I have kids, what do you mean brush my teeth? Like, are you kidding me? We're married, I'm good. We got it in the bag. Guys do not like that. And I know you think I might be sounding sassy or sarcastic. So many women do that, and you probably have done that, and or you have friends that have done that, and you've seen that their marriage goes down the tubes quickly because the guy is all of a sudden the king on his horse. He's the knight in shining armor until the ring goes on and you walk out of those wedding doors, and all of a sudden he's like a rug, like a doormat rug, like he's a dirty rug, he's an outside rug, like he doesn't even get more attention than the pet rat, not much less the doggy. You know, it's just like, no, this is not the recipe. Remember what I told you about the sugar and the chocolate chips and the eggs? This is a main component here, is staying at least lovable and attractive and adorable to your husband, the way you were when y'all were dating. Yeah, okay, things will change. Now you're 10 years older, and maybe y'all don't go out to the same places, and you don't wear the same type of clothes. You've matured a little bit. Maybe you have some more, hopefully, class. We're always getting classier and classier as we get older, right? Hopefully, though, too, you have kids, but you have boundaries with your kids. Your husband is still number one. Your husband is number one, the kids are number two. Well, God is number one always, but in the physical world, you know what I'm saying? Like, God is number one, your husband comes right before God, and then the kids. Not kids before, and I understand, you guys, kids have immediate needs. Your husband will understand that too, but you and your husband need to talk about these things before you bring kids into the world. A lot of women think, oh, he'll just be on board. Like, I have a friend who literally got married to a guy, took him to dinner. They went to dinner. They had been married about a year or so. She took him to this big fancy dinner and she was like, okay, we're pregnant. And he's like, what? Like, we didn't talk about this. I don't even want kids. What do you mean you're pregnant? Like, are you kidding me? Not only was she pregnant with one, she was pregnant with two. They were having twins and he didn't even want kids. They had never even talked about it. She's like, what do you mean you don't want kids? This is a true story, my friends. So y'all need to talk about, do we want kids? When do we want kids? How do we want to raise the kids? Are we going to have what kind of boundaries about the kids? Your husband needs to understand, because some guys just don't get it. They don't know. They didn't grow up with siblings or cousins or babysitting. Like, you probably grew up babysitting 20 times a month. He may not know. These kids have immediate needs that need to be tended to, but your overarching needs, your marriage needs, your husband has needs that are, and they're not just physical. Oh, well, we had sex 3 times last week. He should be good to go. He needs you to have eyeball time. He needs to know you care. He needs to know he still matters in your life. You need to listen to him. You need to remember things he says. And if he asks you to do something and you say, yes, I'm going to do it, that you do it. These are very important things. Now, like I said, the old saying, guys marry girls thinking they won't change. And then they do, and it pisses them off. And then sometimes they go wayward. Some guys, not all guys, but some want to go and have that girl that they married. So they go find another chick who wants a date. Like, they want that sexy, fun dating time where you're taking her on a date and she's paying attention and she's looking at you and she's adoring you and she loves you and she's into you. And then you get married and she's like, I'm out, dude. Like, we're good. What do you mean sex? I don't even know what that word is. Not just sex, but listening. What do you mean listen? I don't even care about you. What do you do for a job? I don't care, as long as you bring home the bacon. Okay, so let's go back to the girl. The girls marry guys. The girls marry guys thinking they will change. And this is a red flag upon red flag, the biggest red flag of all red flags. If you're marrying a guy that you don't want to be married to, do not marry him. Okay, because he probably will not change. You do not want to be married to, probably. You might think he's fun and sexy and cool, and you love dating the guy that's everyone's favorite, and he's always getting drunk, and he's so funny, and he's the life of the party, and he's hilarious, and he's everyone's best man because he tells a good story, and he's the best one giving a speech, and every girl loves him because he's hot, and he's sexy, and he's just fuckboy. Okay. Then you kind of finally get him, and you're surprised when fuckboy all of a sudden is your husband, and he wants to go out and party and dance and flirt with all the girls, and he wants to get all this attention, and he's giving the funniest talks, and he's telling the greatest stories, and he is like Mr. Charm. And you want a guy that's ready to settle down, and he doesn't party anymore, and he doesn't drink, and he wants to have babies, and you've never even talked to him about this stuff. Girls marry guys assuming that they will change. Well, the day we get married, he's going to want to settle down, quit drinking, and have babies, and kiss my ass. Well, I'm sorry, he's probably not going to do that. Most guys don't just change on a dime like that. Some guys don't even change when the baby is born. So there is some risk involved. Like, who are you marrying? You need to be sure you've been with this guy, and you've been with him for, like, I always say 2 years. Date the guy for 2 years. There's no rush on forever. How does he handle business issues? How does he handle flight delays? How does he handle deaths in the family? How does he handle funerals? How does he handle baby showers? How does he handle you being out of town with your girlfriends? How does he handle all of these things that you need to know? How does this guy handle life? Because he's not going to change immediately when you just get married. Oh, we're married now, so now he's going to be Prince Charming. If he wasn't Prince Charming before, like he wasn't a great guy, don't expect him to now be a great guy who treats you with respect, because he didn't even treat you with respect before. He was just a party boy, and he never even cared about you and listened to you and asked any questions. So now all of a sudden, it's been a year, you've been you've been married for a year, and he still hasn't asked you any questions about you and your life and your dreams and your goals, and you starting to resent him. But he's never asked you about that anyway. So why do you all of a sudden think he was going to change? This is on you. This is, like I said, red flag of all red flags. You need to find out, does this guy have the character I want and all this stuff? Now, if you're married, like I said, come back to all of these things. You are the beating heart of this marriage. If you are already married to this boy who has changed, hasn't changed, whatever, you chose him for a reason. Stay focused on that checklist that he checked. All of these things. You love these things. This is why you said yes to him. Keep those in the forefront of your mind. Do not let these little annoyances distract you from those many reasons that you said yes to this man. And start seeing those things in him. And start appreciating those things in him. Remember, what you think about grows. It expands. So the more you focus on how much you love him, the more loving he will be, the more lovable he will be. Both. The more you focus on how successful and driven and ambitious he is, the more ambitious he will be. The more you start focusing on him being a 50-year-old child and speaking that to all your friends and complaining and going to happy hours and leaving him at home with the kids and I hate him and he doesn't change the diapers right and blah, 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 and you're complaining about him, those complaints will grow and you will manifest and attract and energize more to complain about. Do not complain about your husband to anyone, especially not your mother. They say never tell your mother anything about your husband, negative, because she can never forgive him, right? I've made the mistakes in my day before, and you probably have too, but just don't do it going forward. Never tell your husband anything negative about your mother. He's also very protective of you, wildly protective of you, and he may not be able to forgive your mother either. So just don't tell either one, mom and dad, anything negative about husband. Don't tell husband anything negative about mom and dad. Especially, it seems like the mom. Like, I feel like there's a special connection with mom and daughter, and I'm talking to you wives, so we're talking about mom and daughter here. But definitely the same goes for husbands and dads and stuff like that, but it seems like there is a little bit more with the mom-daughter. Anyway, this video is getting a little bit long, so let me cut it off here. I just wanted to remind you that you do have so much power to soften his heart, to keep his heart soft, and if he has become hardened and bitter in his older years, or you did end up marrying a narcissist and you ignored all the red flags, you had enough red flags to sail a ship, but you still married this guy. I do believe in the power of intercessory prayer, and there is a way. There's a woman named Ramani, Dr. Ramani, Ramani. She does talk about being with a narcissist. If you're either a child of a narcissist or a sibling of a narcissist or a spouse of a narcissist, we all have a little bit of narcissism in us anyway. Some have a little pinky, and some have their entire rib cage and both legs are narcissistic, right? So if you ended up marrying a narcissist, and she does tell you how to deal with that. So there are ways that you can pray, and there are things you can do to really get better at dealing with this narcissist and having a happy life. You can have a very happy, healing life. Now, if you're in danger, obviously that's different. I'm not talking about that. But that's for a different video. Okay, see you next time.